27th, Atlas published a fond farewell to Demon Souls servers, and after realizing what the announcement involved, I felt like I just had to make a video and talk just a little bit at least. But before we get into anything else, I'm just going to read the announcement in its entirety because I really appreciate a lot of what Atlas said in it. So let me just pull it up here. A fond farewell to Demon Souls servers. After 8 years, we say goodbye. It's not every day we get to bid farewell to a title supported for more than 8 years, especially one so foundational to how we play games today. First, let's get the tough news out of the way. On February 28th, 2018, the servers for Demon Souls will be shut down. The game will remain fully playable, but online functionality such as in-game messaging, player death locations, and world tendency features will stop working. And of course that doesn't mean world tendency in general, because if you watch my playthrough, you saw me manipulate world tendency, even though we played the game offline. So what this is referring to is just there was a server median type thing that would pull your world tendency I think it was one value towards white or towards black, depending on, I'm not sure if it was altered by other players' actions in their worlds, but it might have been. But yeah, so not world tendency as a whole, just the server world tendency that affects your own world tendency when playing online. It's with mixed emotions we say goodbye to the service. Countless players have enjoyed Demon Souls and the functionality it introduced to players when such things were rarer. If you've played the game, then you understand the feeling of dying multiple times in the span of 10 minutes or dealing with a boss fight so difficult that it took you a week just to figure out the best way to attack. The unforgiving nature of the game has provided countless enjoyable moments of frustration and anger, but also the elation felt from beating something so challenging. This difficulty and grit helped pave the way for even more punishing games, such as its spiritual successor Dark Souls, the 2017 hit Neo, and the landmark PS4 title Bloodborne. And what I really loved about this post was that they shared some memories from different members of the Atlas staff with Demon Souls. And I just lost it. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Some of our memories, we had our fair share of moments playing the game. Here are some of the best memories from our staff. Beating double man-eaters the first time. Fuck those guys. It's also my proudest and most frustrating platinum trophy to date. I played Demon Souls back in high school, and it was one of the first games I'd played in a long time where I felt a major sense of accomplishment after tackling a tough boss. I remember beating the Tower Knight and thinking, man, a boss fight hasn't made my hand shake like that since I was a little kid. Plus, not knowing what was going to come next was always a thrill. You never knew what might be lurking around the corner. Blighttown was the not-so-fond memory for me, haha. On top of an already difficult game, I had to worry about poison. And it wasn't like you could just cure the poison, because that area was just nothing but poison, and you'll get re-poisoned immediately. There was no getting around the poison. Did I mention the poison? My most memorable experience with Demon Souls was listening to Richard's deluge of profanities while he was testing it, lol. I played like I lived, foolishly rolling off cliffs while trying to dodge skeleton enemies. Every boss fight in Demon Souls was memorable, not necessarily because they were difficult, but because all of the bosses had a creative way of defeating them. The 3 moments that stuck out to me the most are when another player invaded me as the old monk, Maiden Estrella killing herself, and when I found out that the last boss was a gross bug jello thing. Demon Souls is a huge reason why I chose to work at Atlas, and I have to admit the Demon Souls fanboy in me does I am sort of squinting my eyes a little bit at someone referring to the Valley of Defilement as Blighttown because it came first, darn it, but I'm not going to hold it against him, it's fine. Thank you to everyone who played Demon Souls, and especially to those who still revisit its world from time to time. For those who haven't played in a while, we invite you to once again visit Boletaria while the servers are still live and celebrate its contributions with us. We're even going to have some of the newbies in the office play the game live on stream in December, so you can laugh at their pain. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and our Twitch channel for more details. Atlas. And I guess I just want to say, as far as my own part, thank you to Atlas and Namco Bandai for bringing the game to North America and Europe respectively, and essentially paving the way and building a foundation for the breakout success that was Dark Souls. I mentioned this in my first Demon's Souls video, but the game was so dangerously close to never leaving Japan, with the VP of Sony International Software passing on it and letting Atlas publish it because of its difficulty and unusual design decisions. And with the end of the game's online features, easily one of the most unique aspects of the game, I can't help but feel very sentimental, very lucky, and very happy that I was able to experience it at all. I can hardly think of what my taste in video games would even be like were it not for Demon's Souls and the Souls series in general, because they basically propelled me into loving and appreciating the slower, more methodical exploration games where experimentation and wanting to learn the ins and outs of how the game worked was the key to enjoying it. As far as my most memorable moment in Demon's Souls, I probably have to say the old monk fight in 3-3. When the game was newer and more active, it was really easy to get a player as your boss fight, and that forced PvP was such a surprise to me. It blew me away that when I was invaded, rather than my usual style of having to look out at every turn and make sure I wasn't about to be backstabbed or steamrolled with the Dragon Bone Smasher, I had to reach the top of the tower and face my invader head-on in order to continue the game, and then I was rewarded for that with the stupidly huge monk's head collar, which unfortunately after February 28th will be impossible to get anymore because you need to defeat a player for that boss in order to get that item. So my save file with that just suddenly became very, a lot more special to me. Anyway, I'm not really sure I have much more to say other than that. I'll definitely be playing Demon's Souls with the online features enabled for one final hurrah, and I'll be co-oping and summoning and writing messages every single chance I can get. It's kind of too bad, in a way, that I did a Demon's Souls playthrough already and recently, because it would have been a great way to send it off by recording and uploading it in its entirety. But instead, I've decided that I'm gonna still record it all, but essentially do a highlights video, for lack of a better word, where I will show my favorite moments and then talk about them as a follow-up to this one before the server shut down, or shortly after the server shut down, I'm not sure. And that'll be my personal farewell to Demon's Souls servers. But that's neither here nor there. I want to thank you very much for watching this video and listening to me talk about Demon's Souls. And one final time, I want to thank Atlas and Namco Bandai for keeping up the servers as long as they did. It means so much to me that I was able to go back and play Demon's Souls online over the course of the past 8 years, and it's an experience I will never forget. Umbasa.